Be our guest, be our guest.
There you go. Tell me your name again.
Tim.
Tim, that's right. You do all the art stuff.
Yeah.
Art guy, music guy.
Art guy, music guy.
Here we go.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Where do you want me to go?
It gets a little deep in that couch.
That's what she said.
Hey. You want to pull that one off the side of the couch a little bit, just so it's not in his face?
Sure.
So video-wise, it's up in him. Or unless you just want to pull it down, I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
How's that?
Yeah, that's cool. I don't even know where mine is. Well, I guess it's kind of right there, too.
We're talking to each other?
Yeah. As if you haven't interviewed enough with us lately. Good to go? All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Tim Brown. I'm the art director here at CreatiVets. Thanks for joining us today on this Giving Tuesday. I have Jeff Copeland here with us. If you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself, what you do, and kind of how you met us, really.
How I met you guys. Wow, that's a long story.
Yeah, I've heard.
How much time do we have?
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, my name's Jeff. I'm a songwriter, producer, musician, and I basically produce all of the recordings that we do for the In Nashville programs for CreatiVets. When the songwriters come to town, they write one day, and the next day we go into a studio. I bring a killer band in, and we bring the songs to life in a couple hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see what you guys can put together in such a short amount of time. I will say, it wasn't until I took this job that I even got any of that kind of behind-the-scenes experience to just see it with my own eyes. And I mean, I'm a fellow creative on a different world, on the visual side of it, but it's extremely impressive to see how quickly a lot of these writers can just put something together for these guys. It's amazing how, I mean, I'm just blown away every time I see the process.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am as well. I make records usually by myself in my studio, and I'll record one instrument at a time, and I could take, days to make a record sometimes.
Sure. Which still is impressive to me.
It's just a completely different way of doing it. But the talent that's in Nashville with musicians, it really reminds me of the old Motown days where you just get a great band into a studio. Somebody comes in with a song that they just wrote. The band listens to it 20 minutes later. Yeah. They're basically cutting it live. That's how talented these guys are, and they do. They've been doing it for years, multiple times a week already, and they've just been churning out songs, records on, record after record, demos. They've been playing so much. When they come and they do this, though, for them, I mean, I've heard so many times how this is like their church.
Sure.
Because they're seeing an instant impact on another human being for what they're playing, as opposed to just a random song, one of 50 they're going to record that week.
Sure. No, it's
and having the veterans there just to see their reaction after we cut aside it's everything to us. So.
Tell me about any projects that you've worked on directly with us that kind of stand out to you, or even some of the artists that you've brought in to kind of help.
I
know you have some Love and Theft Connect. Shout out to Eric.
Hey, I understand. Yeah, well, the Love and Theft Boys, I met. I was actually involved with them way at the beginning before they were even Love and Theft.
Yeah.
Just like getting them together and mentoring them and developing them as artists. So I have a very special connection to those boys, and it was great to see them become successful and then give back with the veterans. I think the one that stands out the most for me was recently. So I'm just gonna turn my phone off because it's bad podcast etiquette.
Listen, you can't help it on the live anyway, right? Stuff's gonna happen.
So, my gosh, I'm trying to remember his name, but I wasn't involved in the writing, but a couple of sessions ago we had the 101-year-old veteran.
Irving. Yeah.
Yes. Irving.
He was incredible.
Unbelievable.
What a
experience.
spirit at that age. It's so impressive to me when they're still just holding it down after that long and super just energetic and amped up about life still. Yeah. It's amazing.
I was fortunate enough to have a nice conversation with him when we were winding down. I mean, the dude hung out the whole session.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And was, talking and everything. And what impressed me the most with him was just how generous he was with talking about what he's been through.
Sure.
And so many of the veterans, as you know, that we get,
yeah,
they may be talkative, but for them to talk about the root of it and some of the difficult stuff, I mean, clearly it's been decades.
Oh, for sure.
For him. And who knows what his path was to being as communicative as he is now. But what a blessing to have this man just talk about stuff that's, in just deep history.
Yeah. I mean, it was really incredible to get to actually have a little bit of time with someone, especially, with my service background and my wartime, to talk to somebody who has literally been in all of the big name, battles and things that you've heard about World War II, and to know that he's been through multiples of these historically important battles throughout that entire campaign is incredible. Just the survival of all the campaigns he was involved in is insane.
So of course I asked him, how did you make it through everything?
Yeah.
How did you survive? And his answer was, for the grace of God, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah.
And just to come out of all of that, and his main point is just thank God, thank a veteran, just be grateful for whatever you have every day.
Yeah.
We talk about wisdom to get to that place.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could do that and share that. And of course, and then I was like, how are you so physical and moving around and talking and everything? He goes, well, my wife and I, your wife? You're married?
Yeah.
Yeah. 77 years. She's 97 years old or something crazy like that. His wife's 97.
Yeah. I know.
He's like, we still ballroom dance. And I was like, wow, you are just a treasure.
Yeah. Honestly, I was very excited because obviously, as you know, we're running low on veterans from that era.
Yeah.
And to see someone still thriving at that age is amazing to me. And also for him to be as willing to literally go above and beyond in anywhere he's needed to even talk about any of that is also amazing.
So I was involved when they brought him to the studio, and I had to record his song. And I 90% of the time we'll record everything there, and I'll take it back to my studio to record the vocals and mix it and finish it. But this one is I cared so deeply. I was so moved by him.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time at home with it. I'm gonna do a whole string arrangement, make this as dramatic as possible.
Yeah.
And I just love it. If Freedom Was Free is the name of the song.
Yeah, it's a
and
good one.
I think it came out great. And Johnny
I
and
think
Heidi.
we put that one out on Veterans Day.
Yep.
So it's amazing.
Thing.
Thank you for that. So tell me a little bit about how you met Richard, because I just watched this video for the first time yesterday. Blew my mind that I hadn't seen it yet. But it never ceases to amaze me, the random things that this guy has just done on his own creatively to express himself. But please tell me your side of it.
I wish he was here because honestly, my dates are probably off, and I kind of want to. I don't know if this story's just become legendized. Is that a word in my brain? Like it keeps getting more
legendary.
Legendary. So I have a group called Blackjack Billy that I'm the producer and guitar player in, and that is how we met Richard. I thought. But we're going to go back to 2012, I think it was, or 13. I'm not sure. So at this point, Richard was in school, trying to learn, having a hard time.
2012 is probably accurate because we started in 2013. So
okay,
yeah,
2012, and I believe art class was the one class that he really connected to.
Yeah.
And was able to open up a part of his brain, basically, that I don't think he was very artistic before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of what we deal with across the board. I mean, finding veterans who, doesn't really matter if you've had any creative outlets prior or you're artistically inclined of any kind. But it is more often than not someone coming from like zero background with anything creative. So and Richard being the same, he was.
So this is him physically going through what he manifested into what is today back then. Yeah. So at this point, I believe his art teacher had told him to help him with his language, to go find songs that you love and do parodies of them, right? Mm-hmm. Help with words and language. So I had a hit song at the time called Angel Eyes by Love and Theft, back to them. And one day I'm on Twitter, pre-X, and he tagged me and some other songwriters. I just opened it up and it's this dude, Richard Casper. Here's my parody of Angel Eyes. It's called Freedom Fries. And it was something like, put a little bit of ketchup on those freedom fries.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Or something like that. And I just cracked up. I thought it was so adorable. And I sent him a message saying, hey, dude, thanks. This made my day. Cheers, keep it up, or something like that. I didn't know he was a veteran, didn't know what it was for. It was just somebody tagging me because I'd written the song.
Yeah.
And then fast forward 6 months later, but leading up to that, I believe the next step for him was the teacher told him to, all right, now that you've done that, you should probably find somebody to write a song with. That'll really help you get your story out. So Richard is, he's a smart guy. And he's not shy, as we all know. So
not even close to being shy at this point, which is also amazing to see this transition. I mean, he was extremely shy in public or like a public speaking setting or any of those things. So to see him now, you see this side of him wasn't even close to this person, 10 years ago. So the fact that he has transitioned all the way to what he is today is also just another just another outcome of his healing process, but yeah.
So I think there was a Nashville Writers Round traveling, and it was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he went to the show, and then he went up to the writers after, and from what I've heard, it was, hi, my name is Richard Casper, and I have PTSD, and blah, 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 and my teacher told me that I need to write a song with you. Will you write a song with me? And I think there's about 4 writers. There was no, what? Who are you? Sorry, I can't help you with that. And Mark Irwin, just a beautiful soul himself, listened to him, was like, sure, buddy, I'd love to write a song with you. Why don't you come to Nashville and we'll make it happen? So I don't know the details of this, but I know Richard went to Nashville, wrote with Mark, and it changed his life. And he wanted to then go back and help a friend of his to help change his life. And this was Jesse. And Jesse, unlike Richard, who does not have a physical wound, you can't tell anything about Richard beyond that. He's just super tall, good-looking dude.
Very
with
chatty.
A goofy sense of humor.
A major jokester.
But Jesse, on the other hand, burnt his whole body, amputated leg, shut down, having a really hard time. So Richard's telling him, you got to come, this songwriting thing's great. I'm going to find somebody for you to write a song with, and I'll help you. So here we are, 6 months after my Twitter message from him. My group, Blackjack Billy, is performing in Panama City Beach for spring break at Spinnaker Beach Club, and Richard's there just hanging out, partying for spring break. He sees our show, comes up to us after the show, same thing that apparently he did to Mark. Hi, my name's Richard Casper, and blah, 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 and I have PTSD, and I wrote a song with Mark Owen, and now I want to help my friend Jesse, and will you write with us? And whoa, slow down, buddy. Why are you talking about being shy? He was just like super, amped up and just spitting it all out.
Yeah. I mean, when he gets excited, he gets excited.
And so this is where my life changed. I didn't know anything about the military, to be honest. I grew up in Canada, and then I lived in New York City, and I survived through 9/11, but to me, it was about the city coming together.
Sure.
It was about the first responders.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much about the military.
Sure.
And that was the time that I believe that's what caused Richard to even sign up in the first place, right?
He was in high school at the time.
My
Senior year, I believe.
My bandmates had relatives in the military, so I was really fascinating. And then as we talked more with Richard, I was like, tell me a little bit more about it. And then he started to tell me about art class, and then he started to tell me about the parodies that he wrote. And I'm like listening to him, and I'm going, freedom fries? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm Jeff Copeland. You tagged me, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, you are? Like, he didn't know. We were just a band playing at so
and
like,
he's just, as he does best,
Yeah.
just meeting as many people as possible all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the universe all aligning for me to go, wow, we definitely need to do this.
Yeah.
So a few weeks later, he brought Jesse, and me and my singers, we got together in a room, and this was the model of what became CreatiVets. Richard was acting as the mentor.
Yeah. I think Richard did all of the mentoring for the first, I wish I knew the number, but it was most of the first vets that we did for the first few years. It was just Richard.
Just Richard. And this was his first time doing that. And Jesse was the subject, and myself and my singer, we were the writers.
Yeah.
And we sat in my studio and we listened to Jesse. And it's the writing room is the safe haven. It's an unspoken, what you say in this room stays in this room. And it's a very safe.
Unless you put it in the song.
Unless you put it in the song.
But
yeah. But of course you need permission to do that.
Sure.
But we all meet people, strangers, half the time that we're set up to write with, and you have to pour your heart out to each other and try to find some commonality.
Yeah.
And that was an incredible experience. Like, I had no idea what a real human goes through post-war.
Sure.
Like, to actually talk to somebody and hear them, and hear Richard and hear Jesse.
Or to just be heard, for that matter. But yeah.
So it helped. It opened my mind to this whole thing and just the human experience of connecting that way. So we went back after, and we recorded the song. And I told Richard, this is great. It's a great idea to help somebody. We could help so many people by recording. Like, if you do more of these, let me know, and I'll put together a session, and we'll record it like in the same quality as we did. Because I'm, being a producer, it's like, I could do this. I can help. This is one thing I could do to help.
Yeah.
Is to get people to, and make a record, which then maybe some artists would cut them one day, and we could donate money to the families. I was just spewing all these ideas out, and he went off, and came back a few months later with, I think, 4 or 5 songs, and I called some studios, called some friends that were great musicians, and everybody did a pro bono back. This was before CreatiVets even existed. It was just, let's just get these done to help these families.
Yeah.
And it was an unbelievable experience. Like, everybody was just, but you can't sustain that. You can't keep asking people for free favors after a while, and it's unreliable. So then Richard was like, I'm gonna turn this into something, and I'll come back to you when I get budgets, whatever. And then I didn't hear from him until 2017.
Yeah.
And all the work that he was doing. And then he's like, it's turning into a thing. And then can we start doing this every month? I think we started doing them every month.
Yeah, I know that when we're really running and gunning, it's like at least once a month now. I mean, with the amount that we have going on now between New York, LA, and Nashville, I mean, it's all the time, which is amazing. I mean, obviously we want to be able to change as many lives, realistically save as many lives as we can through this process. And obviously with the partnerships that we have and the relationship that we build with, writers like yourself and some of the artists that we work with, is really the only way that we function. It's the only way that we can keep doing what we do and reaching as many people as we're reaching now. So
it's incredible how I've seen it grow.
Yeah. I mean, I've only been here for 2 years. Yeah. And, well, I mean, I met Richard in, I want to say it was around March of 2022. I was working at a local ad agency, and I hit that point in my life where I just felt like I had a skill set that served me long enough, and I wanted to somehow serve someone else with it. And so, from my background, and obviously with my military experience, I wanted to get into the veteran sector, but I didn't really know what organizations even exist. I mean, typical veteran, like I avoided anything veteran related for like 20 years, as long as I've been out. I didn't want to be in that mix, though I was missing that community aspect of it that I didn't really realize. I just was very hesitant to jump in on anything. I mean, I've never been to a VFW. I've been to the American Legion literally last year because now we have a relationship with Post 82, shout out. So I just, like most of us, you end up kind of secluding yourself and kind of drawing back out of some of those groups naturally, because also realistically, at the time didn't want to talk about this stuff, even with my fellow veterans, because it's already hard enough, day to day. And you eventually end up kind of obviously boxing things up, packing it down, and then you just go about your business, everything's fine. So it's a standard go-to for me for many years. Fine, I'm fine. But now, being on this side of it and getting involved in actually talking to these veterans one-on-one, especially on my end in the art programming that, I help facilitate. I do all of these one-on-ones, and I get to personally hear these stories first and then relate my story to them. I mean, it's just as therapeutic for me now as it is for them. And honestly, probably why they all keep wanting to stay involved, whether it's through mentorships. Everyone, from the moment they walk out the door of whatever program they've done with us, they always want to stay in touch and they always want to keep involved. So that community that we've built has been incredible. But so I met Richard at do you remember when they were doing the immersive Van Gogh experience? Yeah. Did you ever go to any of them? So they did one here in, I forget what the old theater was off of West End, out by the hospital, but just a random friend of mine was like, hey, do you want to go to this Van Gogh thing? You're an art guy. You'll probably like it. It was like a members only before the whole thing opened up the next day. And so I didn't know it, but it was a fundraising event. And so she sent me the sign-up sheet. And I opened this sheet, and the cover page, says, Immersive Van Gogh Experience, or whatever the full title was. And then it said main beneficiaries, CreatiVets. And I was like, I just saw those guys through my socials looking for a company or an organization that I could get involved in, but I thought they were in Chicago still, because that's where we got started. And so,
for the art part.
Yeah, for the art part of it. Yeah, and that's my background, so that's what I was looking for. And so I was like, all right, well, if they're in Chicago, maybe we'll cross paths at some point, but I won't hold my breath on that, And so I just kind of took a pause on looking for something. And then once I saw that, I was like, all right, well, this seems too good to be true, universal sign, as we say. So I was like, well, I have to go. And so I went, and then I kind of assumed I might meet like an ambassador or just like somebody affiliated with the organization, but I showed up and it was Richard, Brett, and I think Kyle was even there. Richard did his whole presentation, showed us his timepiece, the whole Time magazine video piece that he had done, that whole interview. And then I waited till about 15 minutes before the show was over, and I kind of snuck out and I just waited in the gift shop that they had up front, and he was doing what he does best, networking, chit-chatting with anybody that'll talk to him, and I just bided my time, and as soon as I saw a window, I just kind of scooted in there and just started talking, and the more that I started talking to him, the more I realized that though I've been an artist my whole life and have been using it unintentionally as my outlet, not really realizing it, I realized that we had walked a very similar path outside of our art path. However, when I went to college, I had to go to an art school because with the way that I was functioning as soon as I got out, I mean, I was lucky to even go to school to begin with. And so I knew that if I was going to go to school and focus, it was going to have to be something that I could put more of my energy into because I wanted to, you know, and so just picking something in the art world. So I picked graphic design, so I wanted to be a little marketable, okay? So I knew I wasn't just gonna be a painter forever. And so, but once I met Richard and really started talking, I mean, you've, just from day one, even in that energetic conversation introduction that you had when you met him, it's really hard to not kind of gravitate towards his energy and the mission. It's such an incredible thing that we do here. So I was immediately hooked. I come from a random background here between art handling, between like the Frisk, Cheekwood, all kinds of stuff like that. And then obviously being a designer, I just had this like link to all these random things in the art world here anyway. And so it just was a natural transition for me. And so I started out just doing freelance work for them on the side while I worked for the agency. And then summer of 2023, I got a phone call from Richard asking me if I wanted to go to lunch. And I don't know your past experience with him, but that dude is hard to lock down for anything.
Oh, yeah.
So when he reached out to me, I just assumed that this was something positive and probably related to here. And so we went and had lunch, and he offered me a position here as the art director, which hadn't existed before anyway. So I am the inaugural run for this position, but it's been 2 years now. I've facilitated, I mean, multiple community programmings here in Nashville, and then 2 of our Belmont programs. I've assisted and taught 2 of our Chicago programs and 2 of our Houston programs now. And I mean, I cannot think of a more perfect position for me to have like lucked into than this job. It's incredible to be a part of this organization.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship to art before the service.
Sure. So, I mean, I can't think of a time that I haven't been creating something. I'm kind of double-brained in the sense that I'm very artsy, creative, want to build things and use my hands and just literally anything. If it's in the creative art world, I want to do it. I'm jack of all trades, master of a couple of them, but I'm just not afraid of any of it. I want to do all of it. And I've always been that way. So when I first got started, it's the normal, like doodling, drawing, you know. I don't think there's a single piece of notebook paper from any of my school years growing up that didn't have a doodle somewhere on the page, or drawing while I'm taking notes or listening to a presentation or whatever. I've just always been creating something graphically, you know, with my hands, or visually in general. And so I realized in looking back, especially in my high school years, I spent a lot of time at the dining room table, you know, at like 10 o'clock at night, alone, you know, with just the light on above the table, just doodling or painting or just something, and just jamming some music, whatever it was at the time, Eminem or, you know, whatever was out and popular at the time, and just getting in the zone and then just putting something down on paper. It was a natural outlet for me, and it always has been. And so once I hit high school, I hit the ground running because my school, fortunately for me, had a ton of art programs. I know it's kind of unheard of these days, unfortunately, but we had multiple skill levels of like ceramics, pottery, drawing and illustration, painting. We had charcoal drawing classes. We had photography. We had darkroom photography. We had jewelry making. This ring that I'm wearing right now, I made in high school. Like
Nice.
we had, if it had anything to do with art, it was again the only way that I was gonna get through it. But I'm also very mechanically inclined too. So what really I think got me involved in the design part of it is that I really also love to solve a problem, especially if it's a creative problem, and I love to basically bring someone's idea to life, like in the real world, something that they might not be able to do themselves, which really naturally transitioned to my career perfectly. And so I spent 3 years after college kind of working mostly in healthcare here. It's a huge healthcare hub here in Middle Tennessee, and so I used to work for one of the bigger ones here in their marketing department. But as you can imagine, going from military to college and then transitioning into the workforce, I was like stuck in a cubicle, wearing clothes that I would never wear on a regular basis just to be in an office, you know, and just all this stuff. And I just hit a point really quickly that I knew that that was not the place for me.
Sure.
And so I made the transition to freelance, and at that point could pick and choose whatever clients I wanted. And I did freelance for, I mean, highly successfully for myself for like 10 years. Luckily, as you know, in this town, once you're in the right network, that word of mouth here travels really well. And so I'm proud of it, but I never really had to seek anything out. I had a lot of people would just come to me because a buddy would be like, hey, you need a thing. I got a buddy who's like pretty good at it if you want to give him a shot. And I just built an entire career off of that, and it was amazing. And then I did hit a point after COVID where I was like, I feel like I can only be alone in my house for so long before like I need a little switch up, especially as a creative. And so I started to notice that I was now too comfortable maybe being alone in my house, designing without talking to people for hours at a time, and thought that I definitely need to get back into the world. I need a bit of that creative community, and you know, being able to pass ideas off of each other, just like you guys sitting in a room with you know, your fellow writers and that sort of thing. Like having that collaboration and that ability to kind of bounce off of each other is so important.
It's
I mean,
for art though that you do, the collaboration part of it usually probably doesn't exist as often as it does in music, right?
it doesn't. However, I think that's probably what I love the most about working here now, is that I basically get to help all of them. And so I'm doing my own work sometimes, but I also get to do work with them and assist them, which is amazing.
That's gotta be
yeah, I mean,
rewarding.
You've seen a handful of the projects, but the George Strait guitar project that we have in the front of the building
Love
now,
that.
I mean, I got to literally help every single one of those veterans, including the one that I did.
Yeah.
It's all a collaboration now. It's never going to be a point where, you know, someone's just kind of knocking away at something on their own, which is really cool, because the whole point in this is to have built that community that we can rely on each other when we need, you know,
talk about an exercise in being vulnerable.
Oh,
so doing art is such a personal, vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
And to be able to do it with somebody to help guide them through it, that must be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't count at this point the amount of times that I have been brought to tears by the work that I'm doing with the veterans that I'm helping. It's incredible to see them from the start of this to the end of it, the transition, just even in them wanting to even just open up, even if it's just to one or two other people. A lot of times that's still more than they've done in years at this point, you know? I mean, we've had vets that have never even left their house for the last 20 years. They just have stuff mailed to them, and groceries are delivered now, and COVID changed the world as far as your access to things outside of your house. And so we've had a lot of people that just don't go anywhere. So you can imagine getting them on an airplane and having them to travel all the way to town or wherever we're going to have them do programming. Just that alone is a huge step for a lot of these folks. So,
for sure.
I mean, it's an incredible experience.
The follow-up that we get to experience doing what we do with the veterans that, you know, we'll meet when they come in first time and they're just starting to open up, or they're still in their shell, to, you know, they could be around for years. It's, yeah. There's a gentleman named Tom who was a Vietnam vet that I met at a retreat.
Yeah.
And he was part of a group that I was writing with. And he, I believe he was like 30 years not remembering. He just blocked everything out that happened to him. And then it all came out in like dreams and nightmares. And then he bottomed out and started to do these programs. And he was just not talkative.
Which is amazing too, because to know him now, because I met him post all of that. And I mean, he's a light, he's a gem. I love when Tom pops in.
Writing with him, this is where the follow-up comes. You don't really know how it goes. It's hard to keep track with everybody, but when you do have follow-up and then you see them start to change, like he got into music after.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he took a
learned how to
class
wanted to learn how to produce.
Belmont. I mean, he took. Yeah, I mean, he just hit the ground running with it. After
Came back and he started mentoring.
I mean, his wife has even been highly complimentary of it, because it's just changed their relationship too, which is
completely.
I mean, amazing.
And it's never too late. We're talking, 30 plus 3 decades of just being shut down, and now he's living, the rest of his life in a whole different place than he was before, because of the art, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you experienced this too. Maybe not so much because we're as songwriters in Nashville and producers, it's such a business.
Sure.
And
I mean, I got caught up too, like even as a designer,
as a graphic designer.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I've said this all the time, but like, no offense to any of my prior clients, but you get to a point where like it's not. The only part about it that's creative to me is that I have to solve a new problem every time, but it's still generally the same theme. It's the same type of work, and it's not really that expressive of myself if it was my own. And so I hit a point where you feel like you're a little stagnant in your own creativity because you're not doing anything for yourself. It becomes a business, and then you start to get worn out on it a little bit. And then,
100%.
I mean, there have been plenty of times where I would maybe go to do something for myself, but I just don't even have that energy because I spent so much time problem solving for clients that I don't even want to do it for myself anymore.
But we as writers, so we'll write every day sometimes, hundreds of songs.
Yeah.
And you never know if it's going to reach another human being or not.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, it gets recorded by an artist, or if you're the artist itself, you put it out. And if you're really lucky, it's a hit. And then if you're out there, I've experienced this with my group Blackjack Billy. I'd be at a show, or I'd get messages from people saying, "Oh my gosh, your song, helped me through. I listened to your music while I was in recovery from cancer," or I just, whenever I'm down, the song just picks me up, whatever.
Yeah.
Or the song did this to me, and then that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's connecting to other people. But some people spend years doing it and never know if anything that they're doing means
has affected
anything.
anyone.
So with this, in real time, we get to sit and do art with another human and see how it affects them right in front of our eyes as we're doing it. Yeah. And that's just back to when I said this is like our church.
Yeah.
Because that's why, I mean, there's no better feeling than that.
1,000%.
So thank you, CreatiVets, for that. And thank you, veterans.
Jeff, this has been amazing. Thank you for coming and being a guest.
Absolutely, brother.
Always a pleasure to catch up. I think we're going to take a break, yeah? Cole?
Yep.
All right. And then how long are we taking?
We're going to zoom over to Richard, so I handed you a little note.
Oh, perfect. Let me read this note that I was handed.
A word from our sponsors?
Let's see.
Hey, girl.
Oh, okay. Oh, do you just want me to say where we're going? Here we go. So we're going to shoot over to Richard, who is our co-founder and CEO here, which we've talked about many times in this interview. He's over at our new Creative Arts and Music Center in West Nashville, and he's going to give you guys a little tour of the facility. So.
Okay, can you hear me, Cole? If so, send me a thumbs up or just send me a text because I can't see on here if anybody can hear me. Oh, sweet. Okay, so now we're in the chapel. I'm gonna go right out here real quick again. I think I left the Wi-Fi. So right out here, CreatiVets Community Center, right here. So if we purchased this just a few months ago to turn it into the first ever 24-hour art and music center for veterans, and this is the first little sneak peek on the inside. It took forever to try to raise the money to secure this building before it was torn down. But I just needed a place for CreatiVets to grow and expand, and I didn't want to see a church just go away. So we purchased it. It was in horrible shape when we first got here. It's still pretty in horrible shape, but the floors were super dirty. There's a bunch of pews in here, which we moved out, but we're saving. Um, but the one thing that was actually really nice was the stained glass windows and the way that it did the lighting in here. And probably a month ago, most of them got busted out, kind of like you see here, where here's glass, here's no glass. So two people came in here, just busted out all of our windows. And I made this TikTok video and Instagram video about how just upset I was because we barely had the money to even get this place. And now we have to do a bunch of extra stuff. But then Power Home Remodel reached out and said, you know what, we're going to replace all your windows, which was huge. I mean, I don't know how much this is going to cost, but there's over 40 windows being installed. So as we enter into here, this is a little tour of the space. This is really cool. This old stage, it was right here. We tore it off, and it has all these old names on it from people in the community from 72 when they first installed it. And so we're going to be able to repurpose that into the building somehow. And so as you walk through here, obviously we stripped up all the carpet and took off all the ceiling tiles, but this whole first floor will be a lot of the CreatiVets offices and headquarters. So in here will be a little art room, has good vocals, little piano. And then over in here, we're gonna have some offices for the team. We're gonna have to build out. We obviously have to build out everything in this whole room. It used to be this, I called the Taylor Swift room because it was completely red. And there was like a throne up there. There's also pews back here too. But the really cool thing about this whole property is that we have 2.5 acres of land to help build out. There's these power windows, Power Home Remodel windows. And then we'll go into here. This place has like 34 rooms in it, and they're still working on the windows right now. It's been awesome. And here will be a little conference room or podcast studio. We're trying to still figure out full layout. This will be more offices, printer storage, all that fun stuff. This is going to be my office, little corner office I've always dreamed of. And this is the interstate out there. So lots of people who will see us. The whole story behind it getting this place was insane too, because we didn't have the money for it. And we've had some really key players like Vince Gill and Amy Grant and Gary Sinise and some leaders in the community like Joe Scarlett and others. Milton Johnson, who just came in heavy and helped us. We're about to do some news in a little bit. What's really cool is they still have this old baptismal. It's gonna be hard to see in here because it's all covered up, but there's a baptismal in here that goes out to the auditorium. Through here, this is going to be some art rooms for veterans. We'll have a few different rooms for painting, drawing. And then in these rooms, we're going to have writers' rooms. So we'll be able to have a place where veterans could come and write songs, or we can host our programs. It's going to be awesome. Something we've always wanted. Sometimes we have to pay to rent space and other things, but now we'll have a building that is going to fulfill all of our needs. All these, by the way, every one of these windows was busted out. That window is out. That window is out. All these windows are out. We also already have a sponsorship for this room that's still pending, but it's by an NFL legend coach. I won't name until we figure it out. There's still some old paintings and stuff in here. Here's another window that's busted out. That was busted out. These in here, they're still working on, we busted out. So all these different rooms will be used for creative purposes or for other nonprofits. We want other veteran nonprofits and people helping veterans to be able to lease some of this space. As you see, it goes on and on and on. Another room, another room. It's like so much room for activities. I'm just so pumped to see what this place is going to become. And we've already had a free roof donated. We have free electrical that is coming. We have free windows now. So to see the community just come together and help support us, we're not one of those ginormous nonprofits that can afford this type of stuff. And so having these community partners has been huge. So here's another floor. Wouldn't drink from there. Some bathrooms, another room. The rooms just keep going on. We're going to also be able to leave doing everything we do. But what's really cool is in the basement. The basement, this is the last part of the tour, is these rooms, which will ultimately be turned into wood shop, ceramic studio, and working spots for veterans to be able to have their own studios and continue to work on art. And downstairs with this big open space, this hopefully will be the home of Grindstone Cowboy. Craig Campbell, we've been talking to him about potentially renting out this space because we really want to not have this space just for veterans, which is going to be awesome, but it's going to be for the community. It's so big that we're going to be able to have community down here with coffee, food from his coffee shop or another coffee shop, and then upstairs, writers' rounds, performances, and all that other fun stuff. Let me just turn this around, see if it whips around. Okay, then I'm gonna turn this back over to Cole if he's ready for it. I think I'm going too far away from the internet. Cole, are you ready to take back over at the old home base? This will be the new home base once we get it up and running. Hopefully by November of next year, this place will be done. Loud noises. All new windows. So awesome. Okay. Cole, send me a text. You're good. That's like 34 rooms, 5 stories. Technically, it's 3 stories, but how it hobbles around, it looks like 5 stories in the space. I'm not hearing anything from Cole, so I'm just gonna end it. Send it back to you all. See you.
Yeah, probably have to bend over.
Are you playing right-handed?
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't have a left-handed guitar that plugs up. Also, I still can do a lot of things left-handed.
A real life sound check. Woohoo!
Real life sound check.
Is this how they weigh enough? Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to pull it?
No, she's fine. What? All right. Are we live? We're live,
Can I
Jesse.
sit my pick there?
Yeah, you sure can.
How's it going, everybody?
Happy-
CreatiVets Giving Tuesday live stream 2025. Let's go. Let's go. I like those. Those were good sound effects.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know we were going to beatbox too.
Yeah, we're
Okay, well, I think we just got 2 songs. And then what's after us? Do we know? Has anybody even told us?
We got more special guests.
More
coming,
guests.
So,
More special guests.
you know, so keep and stay tuned for that.
Exactly.
Also, everybody, as you know, it's Giving Tuesday, and we are shooting for a goal to see if we can get 100 people to sign up to be a monthly donor for $10 a month. That would be incredible. That just $10 a month would help us generate $1,000 a month and be able to serve many, many more veterans. So if you have extra cash that you're willing to give, or $10 a month, that's basically, you know, in this economy, 1 Starbucks coffee. So, so, you know, anyways, if you're feeling generous, that's our goal today. Please share with anybody who you think might be interested in helping us out. And thank you so much for supporting veterans.
If you want to give more than $10 a month, you're allowed to.
You are also
I just
allowed
want
to
to
do
let
that.
you know that as well.
What?
I was going to say, if you can't even afford that, you can give any dollar.
Oh, yeah, you can give
Any
any
dollar
dollar amount. If $10 is too much, understandable. Any dollar amount, we appreciate y'all. But, yeah. Anyways, Jesse, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Jesse Wayne Taylor. I am the music instructor and staff writer here at CreatiVets and have been since 2021. And I love it. It's a good time all the time, even when it's hard. And we're going to play a few songs for you guys that we've written with veterans. How long have you been here? 2 years now? 2.5?
Almost 3.
Okay, dang,
Just about 3, I know.
I'm probably close. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that's
you've been here
crazy.
for a minute.
Well, regardless, we've both been doing, like Elizabeth has been doing one-on-one songwriting sessions with veterans as well, and doing lessons as well, like I have. And so we've got a handful of those. And honestly, we could probably do this for like 4 hours.
Honestly, yeah.
To be straight
Got
with
it
you.
good. You must have at least 100 songs.
But we got 40. I've over 200.
Woo, yeah.
Yeah, I got after it there for a little while. This song right here is one of the first songs I ever did with CreatiVets. I did this before I started as the music instructor and staff writer. And Richard called me. I was actually working at a gun store across town in a shooting range, and he said, "Hey man, would you be able to do a writing session with us tomorrow?" And like at the time, I was working 5 days a week at this gun store, like hating every second of it because I wasn't getting to play guitar. And even though I love playing with guns, I just wasn't getting to play guitar, and that just like killed me. But Richard was like, "Hey man, could you do a writing session tomorrow?" And I was like, "I got a day off. I'll be there, brother." He said, "Cool. Meet me at the Grand Ole Opry. We're going to write backstage." And I was just like beside myself. Anyways, I met Richard there. We walked backstage. He introduced me to a guy named Dan Couch. You ever heard that song, Something About a Truck? Yeah, Dan Couch put that one out. Or he wrote that one with Kip Moore and quite a few other ones as well. But anyways, he introduced me to Dan Couch, and then Dan Bear walked in the room. And Richard introduced us to Dan, and Dan was the veteran going through the program at the time. Dan shared his story with us. Daniel, I call him Daniel. Some people call him Dan. You just call him whatever you want to. Actually, I called him Daniel Hebert for 3 years. And then he finally told me 3 years later I was pronouncing his name wrong. But he didn't tell me that until after we had gone on national TV with Kelly Clarkson. So I'm very thankful the good Lord didn't let me say Hebert while I was on TV with Kelly. Anyways, Daniel wanted to write a song for his kids, and this is one of my favorite songs that I've gotten to be a part of because of all the songs, of all the people that I've worked with, a lot of them have kids, and a lot of them have a really hard time sharing with them their struggle, and that is my favorite thing about this song. I'm glad I got to be a part of it, and every time I see a picture of Dan and his kids, it lights me up. So Daniel Hebert / A Bear. This one's for you and the kiddos. Love you guys. I know I'm your daddy, and I'll always be, even though sometimes it seems like you have to daddy me. Like, daddy, are you okay? Are you alright? Did you have another dream last night? Well, I wish you could have seen me when I felt like Superman, back before I lost that piece of me out in the desert sand. No, the sky ain't always blue, and I ain't gonna lie to you. You know I'm broken, but I'm in the fight. Yes, I'm broken, but I'll be alright. I'm so broken, but here's the truth. I feel unbroken when I'm with you. When I'm with you. There's a lot of pain behind the scar on my right knee, but the ones that hurt the most are all those scars that you can't see. I try to act tough and covered up and keep it all locked up inside. Yeah, deep inside, you know I'm broken, but I'm in the fight. Yes, I'm broken, but I'll be alright. I'm so broken, but here's the truth. I feel unbroken when I'm with you. The way you smile, the way you laugh, the way you love, it brings me back. You bring me back, yeah, you bring me back. You know I'm broken, but I'm in the fight. Yes, I'm broken, but I'll be alright. I'm so broken, but here's the truth. I feel unbroken when I'm with you. You know I'm broken, but I'm in the fight. Yes, I'm broken, but I'll be alright. I'm so broken, but here's the truth. I feel unbroken when I'm with you. When I'm with you. Hey, I'm ready for you to sing harmonies on that one, man. I heard you thinking about it.
thinking about it.
I actually thought about that on the way here. I was like, it ticks me off. We didn't think, like, I didn't know we were doing this together, and I was like, it ticks me off. Cole didn't tell me that, because you and I could have got together last week maybe for a minute and just, like, ran through these for a second.
It's okay. You sound good by yourself.
It's okay.
I didn't know you wrote that song. I hear that song all the time. You, the listener, can listen to that song on any streaming platform under CreatiVets.
I literally listened to it on the way here this morning.
It's a great song.
Dan Couch sang it, and it is on the CreatiVets Veteran Songs album that we released back in 2021, I think. Yeah.
So I've never heard Jesse's version, but I like it a whole lot. That sounded great. All right, cool. Well, hey guys, my name's Elizabeth Watson, and like we already talked about, I've been here for about 3 years, just about. For the first kind of year, I was a social media person, so if you've ever in the last couple years been responded to or had someone commenting on your things when you post and tag us, that was probably me, which is really fun. I know a lot of people who don't know me, and I'll meet them and be like, you're so-and-so, and they're like, I'm like, you don't have to, it's okay, you don't know who I am. But yeah, about a year and a half ago, I came on board with Jesse as his kind of female counterpart, doing some of the music coordination and instructor roles with female veterans specifically. So honestly, I think it was really beneficial. I would say that women and men who have served in the military both have very, differing experiences, definitely a lot of similarities and things that are really tough, but also a lot of issues that are separate, that really only pertain to women or only pertain to men. So it's been really cool and an honor for me to get to sit with females and help tell their story. So this song I'm going to do is actually the first song that I ever wrote with the program.
Really?
And I co-wrote this song with Jesse Wayne Taylor.
No way.
And this was our first one that he kind of introduced me, he said, I'm going to give you the ropes. And I think one of the most impactful things about writing this song was it's really exciting to obviously get to write with people, but I don't think I fully understood the weight of what it really means to write somebody's story for them that is all wrapped up in pain and suffering, and it's very exciting, but it's also very it is not a small task to try to take that story that means so much to someone else's life and try to put it into a meaningful song and something that truly encourages them or makes them feel seen and heard and all those things. So I was really gung-ho and just really excited about this, right? I was like, man, I'm going to get to save people's lives and do all these things, which I have gotten to be part of, and it's been life-changing. But this was also a sobering moment where I realized I might be writing with people who are really struggling and unfortunately who might not want to push through and find their healing. But I will say it's been incredible because after writing this song with this particular veteran who was just really lost and really hopeless, she wrote 3 or 4 more songs on her own, and she sent them to me. And it was amazing seeing the lingo change from, there's nothing for me, I'm hopeless, I'm too broken, nothing, matters, to being I'm not giving up, this is my life. The song is called This Is My Life. And so it's just, again, a testament of music really is powerful, and if you haven't tried anything else, or maybe you've tried everything else, maybe you've tried therapy, maybe you've tried, going out in nature, maybe you've tried sports, maybe you've tried whatever, tried all these different things. If you haven't tried music, if you haven't tried writing a song and telling your story that way, I really do encourage you to do it. It's been a gift to us, but also to all of the people that we've got to work with. So, so this is a song. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know how she'd feel about it, but this is called My Life, and a lot of things were stolen from this veteran while she was in the military, and this was an anthem that we wrote for her to kind of get herself out of bed every morning and keep going. And like I said, it's been cool to see her powering through and, being able to do that. So anyways, here you go. Ooh, gonna have to put this here. It's been a long time. Waking up screaming from all the nightmares, waking up crying, gasping for air, wishing for someone to talk to. I cry for help, but nobody cares. So I go through the motions, not feeling a thing. Oh, but I'm still drowning in this ocean of pain. I'm not okay, I'm not alright, tossing and turning all through the night. A hopeless cause without control, but I'll take back everything they stole. No, I won't go down without a fight, 'cause this is my life. Surrounded by people, but they don't hear me. Even with family, it's like I'm not there. Through all the chaos, I try to listen. Why can't I hear you? It doesn't seem fair. So I go through the motions, not feeling a thing. Oh, but I'm still drowning in this ocean of pain. I'm not okay, I'm not alright. Tossing and turning all through the night. A hopeless cause without control. But I'll take back everything they stole. No, I won't go down without a fight. 'Cause this is my life. 'Cause this is my life. I'm not okay, I'm not alright. Tossing and turning all through the night. I have a hopeless cause, I have control, and I'll take back everything they stole. No, I won't go down without a fight. No, I won't go down without a fight. No, I won't go down without a fight. 'Cause this is my life.
Cole, I'm even madder at you now, dude.
It's been a minute.
If you could just give us one freaking day to practice these out, dude, we'd have been I mean, they're killer right now, but what I'm saying is if you and I had just 1 hour to think about, like, being able to actually help each other out, it would be
I mean, I could try.
ridiculous. That's what I'm saying.
If we're about anything out right here.
I've thought about this for a really long time. Literally, probably since the first time I ever watched her play anything on the keyboard, I was like, all right. So, this one, we're still for sure only doing 2, Cole. Is that the word? What's our time look like?
Woo!
So, yeah,
Okay.
2 is probably about all we can get in 20.
Yeah.
If we can do an extra, we will. Yeah. No big deal. But since it's kind of up in the air, I'm definitely going to do this one. So I've written a lot of songs with the CreatiVets program, and it is never my intention to write a song for myself, nor is it my job to do that. My job is to listen to who I'm working with and help them write the story that they have a hard time even talking about. Every once in a while, it works out to where what the veteran wants to write about is something that I'm going through as well. And it gets to be a song that, in my opinion, is just as much, like, I feel it just as much as they do. This next song is called What Are You Gonna Do? And I wrote it with a guy named Matthew McElwee. When we wrote this, it was several years back. And ultimately, the way it worked at the time, we had 2 2-hour sessions. And if somehow me and my veteran wrote a whole song in the first 2-hour session, the next time we got together, we would do another writing session. But if we didn't finish the song, it would just be something that they could finish on their own, in their own time. So that's what happened with Matthew. We wrote a song that was that paid homage to his dad. And at the end of the first session, I said, man, we knocked this one out in an hour and a half, dude. So next time we get together, we'll start something up. And if we don't finish it, it can just be something you do on your own. He said, cool. So we get together again 2 weeks later. And this is all virtually. And I, obviously said, "Hey man, how you doing?" We had our little small talk, and I said, "Okay, what do you want to write about today?" And it took us a while to land on what we landed on. Ultimately, it took him a while to be comfortable enough to tell me that he had tried to commit suicide in those 2 weeks between the first writing session and the second writing session. And this is what we got from it. I went straight into what can I help write for this guy to help him never want to do that again. And truth be told, I've never wanted to kill myself, but I had a surgery in 2021 that was supposed to help the chronic pain that I'm in, and it just made everything worse. And I never tried to kill myself in that amount of time, but I lived every day afraid I was going to go all the way off and just come unhinged and do it. That was where I was. I was living in fear that I was going to lose my temper and just literally go off. I needed this song just as bad as he did, and I think about it every day, and I love it, and I'm so thankful that God put me here doing this job in the time that he did, because I needed to be here. This one's called "What Are You Gonna Do?" Matthew's watching because I already talked to him this morning. I love you, buddy. This one's for you, and this one is for anybody who's ever felt this way. You could end it all by pulling the trigger. You could hang yourself, but the gun would be quicker. Popping some pills or bleeding some blood might do it too, but will it be enough to get the job done? Well, I've been there, you ain't the only one. There's more reasons to live than just for yourself. Even when you feel like you're going through hell, you've got to remember who's relying on you, 'cause it might need someone to help get them through. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I get like this, I fill my mind with thoughts of my family and having good times. Then I remember there's more to be done, and there's too much to see underneath the sun. So I climb up out of that hole, and I do something good for the soul. How you're feeling back when I tried, but I thank God that I came out alive. There's more reasons to live than just for yourself. Even when you feel like you're going through hell, you've got to remember who's relying on you, 'cause they might need someone to help get them through. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Ooh, tell me now.
I was trying to figure out what he was. Woo!
So ultimately, there's this little bridge thing that kind of happened later on that I did not do there, mainly because Well, you know the whole Suno program, right? I ran that through
right.
Suno, and it like left this gap that didn't have any words, and it was just like low music, and I was like, man, something I feel like needs to go there, and I just kind of like ad-libbed, and basically it was something to the extent of like, the pain that you have inside, it won't be there forever, but if you were to let go, it would be here forever, and it would be here in the hearts of all the people that you love. And so whatever you do, hold on with everything you've got. And so I didn't sing it in the song. Maybe one day you'll get that version. But I did. Matthew and I both feel like that message is a very appropriate part of the song because it's a question. What are you going to do? And we're telling you, don't do that. Fight. That's what you need to do. Thank you, Matthew, for writing that with me. Thank you for opening up, brother.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I grabbed this little guy because it's when you write a lot of songs, you have a lot of songs in your brain that you don't always remember. So I haven't played this one in a while, but it's a great song, and again, it was this one's very special to me. I still, even when I play it, I still remember like how heavy the room was when we were writing this, and just how much suffering was in the room, but also how much joy was had after we got to play it live. So, this next song was written actually on a program that I went to Wisconsin for, and I was joined by Johnny and Heidi Bulford. Shout out to Johnny and Heidi if they're watching. They're both fantastic songwriters and performers who do a lot with CreatiVets. And Johnny's written a couple real good #1 hits. So he's amazing to be in the room with, and so is Heidi. So we went to this conference with another nonprofit group called Shield of Sisters, and they work specifically with female veterans who have MST, which is military sexual trauma. And that is in my experience, that is a very large experience among the female veteran community. It's a very big issue, and a lot of what I've written songs about with female veterans. But so that program's amazing. So if there are any female veterans who are struggling with that, Shield of Sisters is a great place to go. They kind of specialize in that arena and with helping you through that. So anyways, we got together with 3 different women who had all had that experience to different degrees in the military. And it was such a great time. I mean, it was just like such a healing time. And again, just this empowering thing that you get to do with people, where you get to just give the power back to them and say like, hey, this thing that happened to you doesn't have to define your entire life. And that's really so much of what we try to do with songwriting, is just, if you need to write a song about being pissed and angry and upset and mad, write that song. But if you want to write a song that's an anthem that says, all this stuff happened to me, but it doesn't matter anymore because I'm in charge of my life, I'm moving forward, I'm the author of my own, my own success really in my own life, and what other people do to you should not ever be a reflection of who you are as a person or how you end up living your life. And I think most of us get stuck in that bubble because it's really easy to internalize the pain and make it who we are. And so I got to write the song with them. It's really cool. And we also got to perform it for all of the women at the conference, which was incredible. And, even though they weren't in the room writing it, it was like an anthem for everyone there who had all shared that experience, and really beautiful time. Lots of family members who had never heard those stories or were unaware, as well. And so, just really powerful stuff. So this song is called Woman on Fire. I'm going to try my best to not screw it up. But yeah. In E flat major.
Come on. I don't know how much help I'll be. Since Cole didn't give us practice time.
Gotta stop beating Cole up, man. Let's do one more run. I'm not perfect, I'm a work in progress, trying to hold on to the feeling that I got this. And I'm still grieving what's unforgotten, sifting through ashes from the past that I got lost in. But I'm tough as hell, I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little higher. I'm holding on, I'm getting stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I'm a woman on fire. When I was alone, I tried to hide it. You put the spark inside my heart till it ignited. But I'm angry, I'm frustrated, full of hurt, and God, I hate it. I've shown my scars and now you know me. It's not my ending, it's my story, and I'm tough as hell. I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little higher. I'm holding on, I'm getting stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I'm a woman on fire. Woman on fire. No scars to show, no bullet holes. What I went through is tattooed on my soul. But I'm tough as hell, I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little higher. I'm holding on, I'm getting stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I'm a woman on fire.
Are you done with us now, Cole?
Oh, snap.
Do we want to do one
Can we?
more? Are you kidding? Yeah, duh. Let's see here. What am I gonna do?
Is it what do we think about doing a song that I wrote, not with a veteran? Because I did not prepare 3. Okay.
Dude.
Show me.
Dude. I hope I can remember all the lyrics to this one because it's is not necessarily. Do we know what I did with my tuner? There it is. It is not necessarily one of those songs that I felt like was right on the money written, like something that I totally felt in my life too. But then we got to the stinking chorus, and I was like, man, I feel like this one's for everybody. Like it's a pretty specific story, but it's for everybody. Let's see if I can remember it. If I forget it, goodness gracious. Chris Bircher, I hope you're not mad at me, buddy. There it is. Next year, we need a speaker in front of us so we can hear ourselves play Cole. Goodness gracious. Just so y'all know, I love Cole to death, and we're really good buddies, and I'm not actually being mean to him. Well, I was just a foster kid. I didn't know where it would end. 9 houses in 4 years. I finally started to mend when I found my forever home with my brother by my side. That man took us both in and he never left us behind. And then he signed for me to go work for Uncle Sam. And that allowed me to start being my own man. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's happy, and sometimes it's sad. Wherever it stops, nobody knows. Just hang on tight and enjoy the show. Life is like a freight train that keeps coming down the way. It's all about the laughs and the tears and the memories that we made. I said the memories that we made. Yes, she won my heart just like that game of darts. The love of my life, I knew it from the start. Then she gave me 2 kids, blessed by God's own hand. I love to take them fishing anytime I can. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. Wherever it stops, nobody knows. Just hang on tight and enjoy the show. Life is like a freight train that keeps coming down the way. It's all about the laughs and the tears and the memories that we made. The memories that we made. The memories that we made. Well, the man upstairs, he works overtime, and he always has the best for us in mind. Well, sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's happy, and sometimes it's sad. Wherever it stops, nobody knows. Just hang on tight and enjoy the show. Life is like a freight train that keeps coming down the way. It's all about the laughs and the tears. I said it's all about the laughs and the tears and the memories that we make. Those sweet memories that we make. The memories that we make. Memories that we make. Christopher Bircher, thank you for writing that with me, buddy. That is also a very special song. I love playing that one.
Wow.
Wear it out, sister.
All right, we're gonna do it. Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with us again. Thanks for being on the live stream, and we have great guests coming up after this, so stick around. And again, if you find it in your heart to give a little extra money today on Giving Tuesday, all of it goes towards helping veterans heal through arts and music, and I hope we've demonstrated some of those stories today. But yeah, I'm going to do one last song. I am going to do a song that I wrote without a veteran, because really, I mean, I started writing songs when I was 10. The first song I wrote was about my dog that we had to put down, which was sad, but that was the hardest thing I'd been through at 10 years old, and it's very interesting looking back on that now and being like, man, nobody told me to do that. Nope, like, nobody said you should write a song, it'll make you feel better, but it did, in ways that talking about it wouldn't necessarily help. And so, yeah, so I've been writing songs since then to kind of deal with my own stuff and process life and talk about things that make me happy and things that make me sad and things that confuse me and all of the in-between. So I wrote this song a few years ago. I was studying music therapy in college. That's what I actually went to school for. And then it kind of all got ripped out from under me, and I was very confused. I was like, hey, God, I thought this was what you told me you wanted me to do. I thought you wanted me to heal people through music, and I'm really confused on how I'm supposed to do that now. But, you know, again, there's always a bigger plan. So I think it was probably 6 months later that I ended up here at CreatiVets, and all full circle now I get to help people heal through music. So look at that. But yeah, so I wrote this song just to deal with my own confusion and my own kind of just, questions and faith in God to just keep pushing forward that he had something better for me, which is very sweet now looking back, knowing that he did. So you don't always know what's up ahead. Actually, you almost never know. So you just have to keep pushing through and rolling with the punches, and don't get too discouraged, because really everything can lead to the next thing. So, and this song is called Just a Little Faith. I'm actually releasing this song December 13th.
I just pre-saved it.
He
and
did.
So
He
can
just
you.
pre-saved it. If you pre-save it, if you send me a screenshot, I will send you a thumbs up. That's all I can do.
I send you a thumbs up and a thank you.
Thank you. But that's gonna be under my artist name, which is Elishiva, Elisheeva. So you can find that anywhere that you listen to music. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is Just a Little Faith. God of many stars, will you heal these scars? 'Cause I don't know if I can go much longer. The price you paid in blood will always be enough. So why do I still doubt that you are stronger than all of the demons that I face? Trying to get in my headspace, stealing the peace in my mind with their lies, little lies, little lies. And I know that what they say is not true, and I know that if I got you, there's nothing that I can do. With just a little faith, we'll move this mountain that's in my way. Yeah, just a little faith. Your word has always been the place that I rest in, but I can't lie, sometimes I still find myself afraid of this dark that creeps inside my heart. But I know you, and I still trust you're stronger than all of the demons that I face. Trying to get in my headspace, stealing the peace in my mind with the lies, little lies, little lies. And I know that what they say is not true, and I know that if I got you, there's nothing that I can do. With just a little faith, we'll move this mountain that's in my way. Yeah, just a little faith, we'll move this mountain that's in my way. Just a little faith. 'cause just a little faith will move this mountain that's in my way. Yeah. Just a little, just a little faith.
Nice. I love that. I hadn't heard it yet. Freaking
Now you have.
I love how it goes from chill to just a straight bop, and like just like without letting anybody know, just you're just like sitting there and they're like, and then you just smack them in the face with it.
On 'em.
Literally, you did that.
I did.
That was a good
Thank you
wake
so
up call.
much.
Like everybody, pay attention.
Wake up. Anyways, thank
Love
you guys
y'all.
for having us. Jesse Wayne Taylor.
Giving Tuesday. It goes on the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends. If you are kind enough to give, don't stop there. Tell all your friends to help us too.
You gotta say that in the microphone, I think.
Share it on social media.
Thank you so much, y'all.
Oh, God, this couch does sink in. Oh, hey. Who are you interviewing now? Hope McGregor. Where's she at? Zooming in.
Maybe. I don't know if I need to get my computer out and do this.
I don't think so. I think there was
bigger, the better. But yeah, I mean, it's really just going to go directly to programming and helping save more lives. So we appreciate your help. Yeah, that's fine. Because I can hear her here. Okay. Is it going to double feed? No. Okay. I'll call her. Can she take a call and be on the video at the same time, though? All right. Oh, okay. She's hopping on the computer so that I can call her on the phone. Oop. Okay. There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So I'm going to talk. Well, if you can hear me on your audio already, I'll just ask the questions to you, and then I'll just hear you on my phone. Is I think what we're going to have to do.
Okay. Do you want me to keep my video feed going?
If you want to maybe do speaker and then keep the video feed going.
Okay. I think I switched my input to my phone.
If you can, that would be amazing.
Connecting to Mac. Resume. I think I have to hang up the phone with you. Never mind.
She's not syncing, you said?
No, it's not syncing.
Well, what about the audio from my phone then? Talk to me.
Hi.
Are you picking that up?
No.
Not you.
Not you, Hope.
You can hear
Oh,
me.
sorry.
You can hear me on the phone though, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's coming through. Okay.
So it's coming through, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So hang up the phone.
So hang up the phone. I need to hear her though.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're not
double
audioing.
audioing.
Okay.
Okay.
But I need
But I need to hear her.
Can I hear her?
Can I hear her from here?
Hope, will you talk?
Oh, will you talk?
Hi, hello.
Yeah, but I can't.
Yeah, but I can't hear enough from here to actually.
Your call.
Your call.
Okay. Can you cut the audio?
Can you cut the audio from her side?
Okay.
Okay.
We're
We're gonna cut your audio on your end.
Okay.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, you know what?
You do.
No, you do what you're doing. They're gonna do it from the computer.
Okay.
Okay.
After that.
So
my next guest.
my next guest is Hope McGregor. She's a Army veteran.
Kiowa pilot, which is amazing. Never met a helicopter I didn't like. Hope, why don't you go ahead and just kind of give us a little intro on your background with the military, and then how you kind of made your way over to us.
Yeah, of course. So I grew up doing music, wanted to drop out of high school and go to Nashville and make it big, and my parents said I had to go to college. So to upset my mother, I was like, well, fine, I'll go to college. I'll go to the one farthest away. It's the most intense one, and decided to go to West Point. Yeah, so that's how I got into the military and then graduated as an aviation officer and did 8 years of active duty service. And then got out, and in the middle of COVID, I was in my second semester of law school. World shut down. My grandmother died. My dog got sick. My car broke down, and my ex-husband ran off with a blonde to Texas. So my dad was like, "Why don't you pick up that old guitar and start playing again?" Yeah, and then fast forward, moved to Tennessee and got plugged in with CreatiVets, and just love y'all so much in the work that you're doing, and I'm happy to support and participate.
I mean, we're happy to have you. So when you actually came into our organization, I believe you wrote with us first, right? And then we had you come through the program itself after actually talking to you and hearing your story, correct?
Yeah, I did a little bit of volunteering, so I helped out with like the golf tournament and whatnot. And then, yeah, played a couple of riders rounds with y'all and like the Nashville Grand Prix and stuff. And then, yeah, I came through the program earlier this year.
Tell me what your experience was having a unique perspective from both sides of this. So as an artist and a writer coming in to work with these veterans, how that impacted you in your journey, and also how coming through the programming and experiencing it for yourself from that side of it has, also made whatever impact that it may have made on you.
Yeah, so most of what I get to do with CreatiVets right now is guitar lessons, which my band members laugh that I'm giving guitar lessons because I'm probably the least qualified. But oh my gosh, like it is so wonderful and humbling to like take this teeny little thing that I know how to do, which is like play an A chord and tune a guitar, and give it to someone else as like a way to have something to focus on and something to pick up every day and practice. Because I think for a lot of us who have gotten out of the military and like lost kind of that sense of purpose or are looking for something to get us up and get us going every day, like we're used to having PT formations in the morning and tasks to accomplish, and just seeing the way that like something as small as like a 50-minute guitar lesson for 6 weeks will help kind of give someone that battle rhythm that they need. Like I challenge everyone to practice 10 minutes a day. That's all I need you to do. Tune your guitar and practice 10 minutes a day. And the way that again, that kind of steady battle rhythm, helping people have something to focus on, gives them just like the tiniest little purpose. And then it's so fun to like log in and be like, look at my B minor. It's like, what? Yes, look at that B minor go. So that's just been such a joy to be able to pass on and help people that way. And then, yeah, coming being like a pretty girl in the Army, and she's like, yeah, let's do it. And she didn't blink twice, and yeah, we had a blast and laughed, and it was awesome. I loved it.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's it's pretty, I think, overlooked at how that transition, which, to be honest, it's not even really a transition. It's almost a complete reset going from military, into the civilian world. And a lot of us do, unfortunately, drop a routine and then struggle to find meaning simply by just not having a daily task to look forward to. So, yeah, I mean, even something as simple as, giving them a 10-minute guitar lesson, or, however long you're having them work with it, and having that just daily goal, or even if it's a weekly goal or whatever, and giving them a little bit of that purpose, I'm sure is incredibly obvious that it's as impactful as it can be, even just in the little bit time that they're doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you have going on now? Any current projects or anything?
Yeah, so I'm at a gas station on my way to Birmingham, Alabama. We've got a show tonight.
Oh, Beham?
Down in Birmingham, Alabama. So I'll be down there tonight, and then I've got some radio stuff lined up through the rest of the month. I just released my second album earlier this year, so just getting people to spin that right now and playing some shows, and yeah, that's kind of it right now. Working on some new stuff, hopefully to release next year, but nothing big album size, but probably a couple singles next
Listen,
year.
staying active is really all we can ask for at this point, too.
Yeah.
We did do some stained glass work together recently, which was an incredibly amazing project.
I mean, I knew stained glass was an art form.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, I have like a newfound respect. Every piece of stained glass I look at now, I'm like, daggum, look at all those rounded edges. That's a long time.
Yep, I feel the same way. Anytime I see something super intricate, I go, well, that would have been weeks of my life probably to pull that off. But yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to catch up with you as always.
Absolutely.
Enjoy Birmingham, and we'll catch you when you get back.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all go support CreatiVets. They're doing the real work out there. So Giving Tuesday, be kind, give away.
Thanks, Hope.
Yeah, bye guys.
Bye. Amazing. All right, so next up, we're going to have our good friend Tommy Carlos come out and jam a couple hits for you. I'd imagine he'll play something that he's done with us as well, so stay tuned to that. Remember, we're still looking for monthly donors. If you want to sign up, every bit helps. So even if it's a one-time donation, it's just, again, going directly to these veterans. So every bit helps. Thanks, guys. All right. Did you cut the mics?
Hot mic. I'm really somewhere. Someday I spend in hell when I'm staring in the distance. Now I'm really somewhere else. It should be coming through. Not coming through. Now I'm staring in the distance. Now I'm really somewhere else. That's just me living. Someday I spend in hell. You are getting it? Okay, good. That was going to be a shock. This is my one good guitar. Have you ever held somebody, felt their last breath, walked into danger knowing you were just one step from death? When you're angry for no reason, when those demons pull you close, that's when I need you the most. I'm just trying to make sure I remember this. That's when I need you the most. Could probably definitely remember one CB song, and then, yeah. How many do you think you need? Okay. They often. Okay. Just kind of. Okay, so like, just kind of. It's on me to just kind of talk. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. Is this live? What's going on? I'm live right now? Oh. I'm glad I didn't say anything inappropriate. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so we're on, right? Okay, so just to kind of talk about CreatiVets a little bit. Yeah. So, CreatiVets, I came about by the baseball player Barry Zito. So I used to pay attention to baseball, and then I moved to Nashville and I stopped paying attention to baseball. And Barry Zito retired because he always wanted to pursue music, and we became really good buds in around 2014. And we just started writing songs, became buds. I didn't even really know much about him, and just became buds. And he said, "Man, I got this neat thing with this nonprofit to go write with veterans who have suffered from some PTSD, and just to write a song." And honestly, man, the first time I thought, man, I don't really know how this is going to help. I was kind of skeptical, and we went in, and it was a really cool experience. It was really different. It was me and Richard and another dude that was super highly intelligent, way smarter than me, and Barry Zito, and it was cool. Even at that point, I was still a little bit skeptical, just because I couldn't really understand what was happening. And then I started to do it, and man, like every time something, I don't know how many times the veterans walked in, so many times they're excited, and every now and then they're skeptical, and you can see the skeptical look on their face. And even to this day, that still will happen. And then by the end of the experience, it's like you made this brother for the rest of your life, and they're hugging you and they're smiling. And yeah, I mean, probably one of that. We just had one like a month ago that was like that. I had 3 guys in a group, and all of them, they were about to quit the program because they had to do this part. And the woman who was the head of the program was like, "Hey, no, this is something you have to do if you want to get these dogs," that they were giving them. And they all did it, and to this day, I still text with them all. They play the song with their wife, and they cry, and they process all the stuff they've gone through. So music just has this mysterious thing about it that just has power. Just something God put into the weirdness of our universe. And being able to do this program, like, it's probably one of the most impactful things I get to be a part of. The song that I am going to do is one that was written with Jerry Majetic, who is still one of my best buds to this day. And Jerry
we actually were doing this song for a documentary for Fox Nation, and that was really stressful because you had like 8 cameras around you, and it's like, okay, now be brilliant and write something that's great. Right, exactly. And that's pretty intense. But I just kind of, Jerry was actually the one that was kind of, he didn't really give a shit that the cameras were there. I don't even think he was paying attention to it. And he was just open and honest, and that kind of brought everybody else in to just relax and tell his story. And it was probably one of the easier songs I've ever written with CreatiVets because he really is this dude. And if you're just trying to write what's real and what's the truth, that's when it's usually the best and the easiest. But yeah, this one's called Another Day. Let's see. Sorry, I got the other one in my head now. What's the first lyric? Don't we have the lyric somewhere around here? If I just remember the first line, I'll get it. Another day. Tomorrow is another day. Something about... Yeah. Thank you all for standing by. I didn't even know you were on here a second ago, so... There it is. Okay. I got the first lyric. Okay, here we go. That's it. That's all I needed. The first 2 letters. Yeah. Thank you. The war was easy. I knew who the bad guy was. Coming home was harder. Different for everyone. These scars here on the outside, they're the easiest to see. But it's the ones here on the inside that are the worst for me. I wake up and smile every day. People ask me how, and I just say, it's the love of a beautiful woman. It's the sun rising every morning, every day knowing I ain't gonna waste a minute. It's my faith that keeps me going, trusting in the Lord and knowing tomorrow's not a guarantee. That's why today is more than just another day. I could choose to be mad, blame everyone, but that don't get you nowhere when the day's done. 'Cause there's so many things in life you'll miss, like the love of a beautiful woman, like the sun rising every morning, every day knowing I ain't gonna waste a minute. It's my faith that keeps me going, trusting in the Lord and knowing tomorrow's not a guarantee. That's why today is more than just another day. It's long walks with my dog, a good show coming on, and singing along with my favorite song. It's the love of a beautiful woman. It's the sun rising every morning, every day knowing I ain't gonna waste a minute. It's my faith that keeps me going, trusting in the Lord and knowing tomorrow's not a guarantee. That's why today is more than just another day. The war was easy. I knew who the bad guy was. Coming home was harder, different for everyone. Thank y'all. Yeah, so that was, and then we wrote that with Love and Theft, and then they put that out, and that was also on all the displays around the country in the airports. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, right behind me. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Boy, this is great. I need the lyrics all the time because I constantly forget them. Yeah, there's another one. There's another one I can't quite remember, but one Richard often has me do is the one of mine is the lessons. I mean, do you want me to do that? Yeah. It is always you. That's awesome. This 2018, I think, is when we wrote it originally. 2018 or 2019. Yep. It was on hold. Thanks, man. Yeah, absolutely. That was me, Dave Turnbull, and Whitney Duncan. And yeah, that's the power of a good song. Wow. Yep. Gosh, it doesn't seem like that long ago, does it? That's crazy. Yeah, that's 6-7 years ago now. That's crazy. But yeah, we wrote this. We spent like 5 days writing this, and this was one that this is the reason I put out the songwriter album, is because this was actually that song that I was surprised nobody had cut, so I decided to put it out, and it ended up getting 1 million or 2 views on the streams and YouTube and all that stuff. Really cool music video out there if you want to check out a lyric video. A song called Lessons. A bully won't stop till you stand up to him. You ain't gonna win if you plan on losing. Sometimes a curse can be a blessing. So wait your turn and learn your lessons. Don't hold a grudge, it'll make you bitter. Don't think that money's gonna make you richer. And happiness ain't about possessions. Gotta crash and burn and learn your lessons. You can't win them all. You can't change your past. Don't take for granted what you got. Don't always want what you don't have. Take some chances, have some faith. Make the most of every day. 'Cause it could all be over in a second. Don't miss a day with your old man fishing. Or a cup of coffee in your mama's kitchen. 'Cause life is short, time is precious. Sometimes it hurts to learn your lessons. You can't win them all. You can't change your past. Don't take for granted what you got. Don't always want what you don't have. Take some chances, have some faith. Make the most of every day. 'Cause it could all be over in a second. Don't break her heart if you know you love her. Don't let her leave 'cause you're too damn stubborn. 'Cause she'll move on and you'll regret it. Hold on to her and learn your lessons. Every choice has consequences. Take it from me and learn your lessons. Something like that. Thank y'all. Well, let's go. Come on. We're still hoping somebody big picks that up. I do. I do. Tell me about it. How are we feeling? Listen to you play that? I've heard a verse. Yeah, on the piano. Let's go. Just to play anything? Yeah, okay. Where's this streaming, by the way? YouTube, okay. What's up, YouTube? Yeah. I guess just before I go and play another song, I don't know. Yeah, CreatiVets has just been the most, like I said, the most impactful thing I've got to be a part of, and I know all these guys real well and have spent years with them now, and it's an organization where every one of them wakes up and thinks about that number and how to lower that number every day, and we need a lot of people out there concerned about that and trying to contribute to that, and this is one place that does it, so I'm super proud to be a part of it, and yeah, I'll end the day or my time with one that is. Can I do another original? Is that cool? Okay. Yeah. So this is. So anybody who knows what an interpolation is, like I didn't know what an interpolation is, but it's like the Heads Carolina, Tails California song that was out. So that's called an interpolation. It's basically where you take an old song and you put new lyrics over it. I wasn't super crazy about those kind of songs. I like the old school ones that actually kind of made it their own song. And so a buddy of mine, Chris Dubois, and I were writing, and he had an idea to do it for Neon Moon. But the thing with Neon Moon is, or interpolation is, it's not like a parody. You have to get the original writer's permission or else the song doesn't exist. So we ended up writing this interpolation for Neon Moon, trying to make it its own song, and we got it to Ronnie Dunn, and Ronnie loved it, and so we're basically in the process of trying to find an artist to do it. And Ronnie has a little part where he comes in and sings the part everybody knows, but anyway, this song's called Blue Neon Moon. Thank you all for having me. Thank you, YouTube. Most of the time, girl, I'm just fine. Most days you don't cross my mind. And even when you do, it don't hurt like it used to. But when I'm driving home and I hear that song, if it hits me right, it could all go wrong. And I know how it ends, on a bar stool at 2 a.m. When that jukebox plays on drink by drink, and I'm hoping that you'll walk in. And the words of that sad song seem to say what I think, so I play it again and again. And I let myself get lost in an old memory, back when I had you, once in a blue neon moon. I think of two young lovers on a Saturday night, brand new Man album playing track 5. It's only every now and then, but it ain't never gonna end. When that jukebox plays on drink by drink, and I'm hoping that you'll walk in. And the words of that sad song seem to say what I think, so I play it again and again. And I let myself get lost in an old memory, back when I had you, once in a blue neon moon. Now if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely, to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. And I let myself get lost in an old memory, back when I had you, once in a blue neon moon, once in a blue neon moon. When the sun goes down on my side of town, thank y'all. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Everybody.
Throw pics out in the crowd.
What you think, Cole? Oh, you ready when I am? Man, it's awesome. Awesome getting to do this. So this next tune is a song that I wrote with a veteran named Billy Prittis. And kind of like I was telling you earlier, every once in a while I get in a writing session with one of my veterans and they want to write about something that I can get right down on that level with really quick. And Billy wanted to write a song for his wife because she had been there for him through everything, the good and the bad. And my wife had been there for me through all the good and the bad. And I was like, buddy, I think I can get there with you on this one. It's called How She Does It. I hope you guys enjoy it. Well, I'm a stubborn, hard-headed son of a gun, always on fire and on the run, doing the best that I can do. I'm hard to love, that's nothing new. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I don't know how she does it. She gives so much to me. I never imagined in my whole life how lucky I would be. You know I've put her through it, but she won't let me go. Always right beside me, with her hand to hold. Whenever I'm not okay, she makes things just fine. I don't know how she does it, but she does it every time. I said she does it every time. I got a list of problems a mile long. I think I'm right even when I'm wrong. When I don't know where to go, she's my compass pointing home. Ain't no way I'd make it on my own. I don't know how she does it. She gives so much to me. I never imagined in my whole life how lucky I would be. You know I've put her through it, but she won't let me go. Always right beside me, with her hand to hold. Whenever I'm not okay, she makes things just fine. I don't know how she does it, but she does it every time. I said she does it every time. She's stronger than I'll ever be, tender and tough, and by now any other woman would have had enough. I don't know how she does it. She gives so much to me. I never imagined in my whole life how lucky I would be. You know I've put her through it, but she won't let me go. Always right beside me, with her hand to hold. Whenever I'm not okay, she makes things just fine. I don't know how she does it, but she does it every time. Whenever I'm not okay, she makes things just fine. Well, I don't know how she does it, but she does it every time. Dude, if we're still here chilling, I feel like I just got to keep going, dude. What else do I have? What else do I have? What else can I play? Where's my pick at? Got one, buddy. I wish I could remember the lyrics to. Let's see. Maybe I can do this one. I'll probably mess it up, but that's okay. So if you've ever struggled with like anger issues stemming from whatever, this one is for you. And this is also one that I feel like I could really level with the guy I wrote it with. When you're just like, he was also in a lot of pain, and that's where he felt like a lot of his anger stemmed from. And when you're in that much pain, it's literally like walking around with like a monster inside of you that could just bust out at any moment. The goal is to not let that happen. And that's why we're here as CreatiVets, to hopefully help provide an outlet to people who don't have it, so that you live a happier life. This one is called Monster in Me. There's a troubled look on my face. When people see it, they assume that it's hate, but it's the pain that I feel inside. You can't feel it when you look in my eyes, but it's there and it won't go away. I'm fighting through it every single day in the very best way that I can. Even though I still don't understand. When I walk down the street, you might think I'm upset. Crossing my way won't be your best bet. I don't want to, but I'm ready to blow. And if you stick around, you might see the show. I can feel him start to break free. But the last thing I want you to see is that monster in me. The monster in me. That's why I seclude myself. It's easier to be alone than with anybody else. Trust me, that's no way to live. But it's my life and it is what it is. When I walk down the street, you might think I'm upset. Crossing my way won't be your best bet. I don't want to, but I'm ready to blow. And if you stick around, you might see the show. I can feel him start to break free. But the last thing I want you to see is that monster in me. The monster in me. That old monster in me. The monster in me. God, won't you take it from me? 'Cause the last thing I want you to see is that monster in me. The monster in me. That old monster in me. The monster in me. When I walk down the street, you might think I'm upset. Crossing my way won't be your best bet. I don't want to, but I'm ready to blow. And if you stick around, you might see the show. I can feel him start to break free. But the last thing I want you to see is that monster in me. The monster in me. That old monster in me. The monster in me. So come, if you are having issues like that, if you can relate with that song, and you're a veteran, why don't you sign up, fill out an application, and maybe write a song with one of us or do an art project and see if maybe that don't help you keep that monster down a little bit. The application is on the website. All you got to do is type in CreatiVets.org and press enter, and it will take you directly to the website. Now, there's actually something else you can do at the website. You can donate as well. You can apply for the program. You can donate. So if you're a veteran and you feel like this program would be something that would help you, please hit that application button, fill it out. And if you're someone who's been inspired or moved by what you've seen this morning, we ask again that you please donate, because our goal is to keep doing more and more of this and to keep getting bigger and bigger every year. And to do that, we do need the funds to be able to make it happen. So we thank you so much for whatever you can give. Is Jackson here yet? Oh, come on. Is he zooming in?
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. This will be our last guest today. I'm going to do a quick phone in. It's Jackson Perkins. He is a active duty Marine. He is our active duty military liaison, and he's been fighting the good fight for us out in the public, but with the active duty veteran community as well, or active duty military, I should say. What's up, dude?
What up?
So what you got going on today?
Well, I'm down in Quantico. I'm getting ready to go to the field tomorrow with the boys.
Ooh, that sounds super fun. How long are you guys gonna be out?
Just 2 days.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Quick out and back.
You don't even need a shower for that. All right, so just to kind of get into it, give me a little, just a quick background on you between, going to college, that experience with the football and everything, and then leading into what you're doing now, Marine-wise.
Yeah, sure thing. So I grew up in Illinois and was looking forward to playing either college basketball or football. Was fortunate to get some good offers for football and ended up choosing the Naval Academy. And when I went to Naval Academy, it was kind of funny because they recruit a lot of players. So I think I was 17th string defensive end my freshman year, which was crazy. You never know if you're going to see the end of that one.
Right.
Ever see the field. But fortunately, sophomore year, got an award for most improved, and ended up starting my senior year at defensive end, and finished up as team captain senior year. So.
And then after graduation?
What's that?
After graduation?
Oh yeah, well, after graduation, commissioned into the Marine Corps, became an infantry officer in the Marine Corps, and was stationed out in 29 Palms as a weapons platoon commander with all the machine gunners and javelin missile guys and mortarmen. We did a rotation out to Okinawa, Japan for 6 months, and got back and moved to D.C. So I'm currently stationed at Marine Barracks, Washington, 8th and I. And all the while, I've been playing guitar and have a love for music, and been following CreatiVets. And this past May, actually, approached Richard and Brett about being a active duty military liaison, and it's been working out so far.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tim?
I mean, I think it's been amazing. I think you're an incredible human being. I love when I get to see you, and I love that you just jumped right into this chaos that we have going on over here without even thinking twice about it. Typical Marine. So give me a little bit of how you even found us, and then kind of how you continued to grow that relationship with Richard and Brett and everybody here.
Absolutely. Well, in college, like I mentioned, I picked up the guitar in college and quickly became obsessed with it. I think a lot of people in the music industry, or people that play music regularly, they understand the feeling I'm talking about when you just kind of get connected to an instrument. And so as I progressed through my military career and continued to play music, my dad actually was looking for a organization that kind of merged the two, military and music. He's like, I was thinking there has to be something out there. So as I moved out to 29 Palms, we took a trip to Nashville first, and we stopped by CreatiVets just to see what it was about and learn more about it. And it turns out there's some other Illinois folks that are running that crew.
A handful of them, yeah.
So just continue to follow CreatiVets over those 2 years that I was in the Fleet Marine Force. And as I was going to DC, I knew that, being in DC, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of movers and shakers, and a lot of people that are willing to help out with different nonprofits. And I feel like I could have a good impact on the organization because I really believe in it. And I feel like I've seen so many testimonies from veterans that it's helped change their life, and I know how powerful music can be. So,
Oh yeah.
just wanted to jump in and see what I could do.
Well, we appreciate it. I mean, honestly, it's kind of amazing, how the universe works and brings us all together kind of as often as they do. Even seeing you at CMA Fest, because it was, what was that, Marine Week or the birthday?
That was Marine Week Nashville.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I saw you in Chicago, and you came in and threw some pots with me at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, which was cool while we were running the program up there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like, as often as you can be, you jump in and get involved, which has been incredible. I mean, I've seen you on the news more than I've seen Richard lately, it feels like, just kind of pushing us out there into the public, which has been incredible. What do you got coming up?
Man,
I see you've been playing some shows over there in D.C. How's that been going?
What's that?
I see you've been playing some shows in D.C. How's that been going?
Oh yeah, we just had a big show at this new country bar in DC with the band. Actually, majority of the band is actually active duty service members.
That's amazing.
Except for our drummer. But yeah, I've been playing some shows. Actually, Tim, you don't know this, but I just my offer was just accepted for a little property in Goodlettsville.
Heck yeah. Bring it on down. Now you got a place to park your truck.
I do have a place to park my truck. I gotta find out about building a little dwelling on it.
Yeah.
It's a super tiny little plot of land.
Well, definitely keep me in the loop on that. We got a network of folk here that can probably give you a hand.
Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Anything I can do to just get down and I just love the Nashville area and love hanging out with you guys at CreatiVets. And I mean, I'm like happy to spend my off time with y'all, because it's just fun for me. I mean, I just enjoy it.
I mean, honestly, I love every time your attitude every time you come in here is something that is to be looked up to, especially by me, because every day it can get a little much. But every time you show up, you're like a bright star just flying through here.
That great hair of yours.
I'll never hear the end of this hair. Hopefully it stays around for the rest of my life. But all right, dude. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for fighting the fight for us out in the world that you're doing. Dude, I wish you so much success in your music, as well as what you're doing with the Marines, and also what you're doing with us, man. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I'm just super grateful and blessed to be even just associated with you guys in any way. Some great humans. So I appreciate you, Tim. I'll see you soon.
All right, love you, brother.
I might be down there before Christmas. We'll see.
Cool. Keep me in the loop.
All right.
All right, man.
Out.
Bye. All right. That wraps another Giving Tuesday for us here at CreatiVets. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, we operate entirely off of donor funding and the grant writing that gets done for us. So everything helps. So if you want to go ahead and log on and make a donation, or if you want to sign up for a reoccurring donation, that'd be incredible too. So again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the support.